Chapter 6, Nursing and the Feminist Enlightenment, from the book Daring to Care, American Nursing and Second Wave Feminism. Author of this book is Susan Gelfand Malka. Feminism in the 60s and the 70s was viewed by many as being competitive, aggressive, and wanted equality for women. The feminist movement had many different ideas and groups, along with organizations. Many women felt an uneasiness about the competitive and aggressive nature of the movement to the point that they considered feminism as being anti-family and anti-motherhood. Carol Gilligan, a psychologist who wrote In a Different Voice, a book published in 1982, she offered a difference feminism that appealed to many women, including nurses. Gilligan emphasized that women and men held different perspectives that she called different voices. She believed that these voices were based on human experiences, and that females valued relationships of intimacy and caring. Her belief was that women's moral development was devalued and misrepresented in society as a whole. Gilligan drew attention to society and its undervaluing of nurturing and caring, and this appealed to nurses who had been struggling to carve out autonomy in their practice. Gilligan's view that autonomy was interdependent, a human condition, and it was not a sign of helplessness and powerlessness. Here is a picture of this fine woman and a quote I think many women will agree with. The difference between women and men, which I describe, center on a tendency for women and men to make different relational errors. For men to think that if they know themselves, following Socrates' dictum, they will also know women. And for women to think that if only they know others, they will come to know themselves. Feminism empowered nurse leaders in the late 1980s to change the nursing curriculum. Many in academia attributed the decline in nursing school enrollment to the fact that nurses were now looking beyond the traditional female occupations and entering fields that in the past women did not have access to. Nursing schools started to recruit from populations that were not represented in nursing: ethnic minority groups, blacks, and men. With the influx of nursing school enrollment, nurse educators could now address the nursing shortage issue and press on to the curriculum. The curriculum revolution began. Nurse leaders were reacting to the public's discontent with the changes in healthcare and the changes that were taking place in hospital nursing. The University of Maryland is spotlighted in this chapter for the revised curriculum it introduced at this time. It offered a philosophy that was sensitive to the student diversity and offered greater flexibility. It also expanded clinical experiences to community nursing centers and schools and developed a women's health curriculum. In 1988, the National League of Nurses adopted a resolution that called for curriculum that reflected caring practices. It became the core value of the nursing education. Articles on caring circulated the nursing journals, and books devoted to caring with feminist connections flooded the market. Nurses formed organizations focusing on the connection between feminism and caring. Choosing to care contrasted duty and calling to the point that caring became an obligation of nurses. On page 130 of Daring to Care, it says, "Nurses' new understanding of caring, a caring endowed with strength, not weakness, promised a transformation in nursing education." With this change in nursing curriculum and education, stemmed a change in the views of autonomy. Based on Gilligan's theory, autonomy involved interaction and potential for growth. Bachelor's degree programs continued to promote new and more autonomous roles for nurses in the 1990s. These roles were outside the hospital setting. In 1993, the University of Maryland set up a nurse-managed clinic to serve the unemployed, the elderly, the working poor, and the uninsured. Faculty and students delivered primary care that included diagnosis, treatment, disease management, screenings, and education. We have a similar program here in Green Bay with the NWTC Dental and Health Clinics. Nursing education started to focus on opportunities outside the hospital and in the community. The hospital no longer served as the home for student nurses, nor did it have any control or influence over the education. Feminism indeed had a strong influence in the changes that took place during this time period. I thought these two pictures really reflect the changes in nursing from the 60s, 70s, and 80s to now. Whilst as students we become nostalgic when we look at the white dress, the white hat, and the traditions of the past and the graduation traditions. But as professionals today, we celebrate the role of the feminist nurse who forged a way for diversity, changed the identity of the nurse, and the perception of the roles we have. Thank you.